Morning everyone, this week I'm out doing some bird photography and I've got a brand new lens to help me do that. So when I did my video recently about safer lockdown photography, one of my tips was to choose your lens wisely, only bring one, and perhaps consider not taking something that's too heavy. So I'm breaking all my advice here, well not all of it, but this is definitely heavy. This is the Sigma 150 to 600mm sport lens. I've been wanting to get a super telephoto for a while now, mainly for bird and wildlife photography. And this is the one I chose. I looked at a few others. I was considering the Tamron 150 to 600 and also the Nikon 200 to 500 and also the contemporary version of the Sigma. But in the end I went for the sport because I wanted the build quality. This is all metal, it's weather sealed, whereas the contemporary, although lighter, it's plastic and not weather sealed. So yeah, this is what I got, and I'm going to be using this today to try and get some bird photos. The lens comes in at about 2.8 kilogram, or I think that's about 6 or 7 pounds, if that's the unit you use. So yeah, very heavy. I don't think I could use it handheld, but it's not going to be practical. So I'm using a monopod today. That'll allow me to still stay on the move, but it'll mean that it just takes a little bit of the weight away. The monopod I'm using is actually from my tripod, so I've got a three-legged thing Winston tripod. And that allows you to just unscrew a leg and then you can put your head on top of that and then you've got a monopod, so that's great. It's a variable aperture lens, so at its widest it's an f5 at 150mm, and then as you go through the zoom range, when you get up to the, I'm not sure where it changes, but at some point it becomes 6.3. So it is a bit cloudy today, that's going to cause some issues with it not being a very fast lens. It's going to mean that I'll have to have my shutter speed lower than what I would like it to be, or my ISO higher than what I would like it to be, or I'm going to have to find some kind of compromise in between. But we'll see what we can get. I've got the monopod, so I might be able to use some slower shutter speeds. It's important to understand the switch which selects the focus range. With super telephoto lenses like this, they've got such a long range that it can take a long time for them to get focus on a subject. What you can do is use that switch to choose between a range which is closer to you or a range which is further away, or the full range. And what that'll do is just limit the amount of hunting the lens has to do when it's focusing, and it'll make it a bit quicker. But what I found is it's important to remember to change that. If you've been taking pictures of birds which are a bit further away and then one just lands near to you by chance, you've not got a lot of time to capture that bird, and you've also got to remember to flick it to the near setting so that it can get focus. If you don't flick that switch, it's just not going to get focus at all. Okay then, that's the exercise done for today. It's been fairly good. I've been quite impressed with the lens so far. First impressions are good. Got some good shots, I think. We'll have to have a look when we get back, but got some blue tits, I think, or great tits, I'm not sure. Loads of robins, even a nuthatch, I think that's what it is. I'll have to Google it when I get back, but I think it was a nuthatch. Yeah, and some ducks and things like that, so nothing moving, just still stuff, but yeah, it's been a good first test for the lens, so yeah, heading back now. Really great to get out this morning, do my exercise down by the local reservoir. I got out nice and early, so it was a good opportunity to do some bird photography, and also a really great chance to test out my new Sigma 150 to 600mm telephoto lens. I've got to say, I'm really impressed so far. First impressions are very, very good. It's very sharp. It is heavy. I knew that when I was buying it. I'm glad I had the monopod today. It was invaluable, really. But yeah, the quality is fantastic and it's been great to use so far. So no complaints so far at all. Like I said, it's good to understand the focus limiter switch. So you've got 2.6 to 10 meters and 10 meters to infinity. So if your subject is close, you need to be using that 2.6 to 10 meter. And if it's further than 10 meter away, then you want to be switching to the 10 meter to infinity. The focus mode, so you've got AF autofocus, MF manual focus, and then you've got MO, which I believe is manual override. That's useful because it means that anytime, if you're using autofocus, you know, obviously your camera's going to autofocus, but anytime you can grab the focus ring and that'll override the autofocus so that you can use it manually. Stabilization, you've got off and then two different stabilization modes. So one is good for using it handheld. Even though I was on the monopod today, it's still a little bit wobbly, so good to have that stabilization. Position 2 is for when you're panning horizontally, so if you're tracking birds. I didn't do any of that today. You know, we got locked down, so wanting to stay mobile, keep moving, so I was just being quite quick today and just taking shots of stationary birds. But at some point I will be trying to get some shots of birds in flight. And then you've got a custom switch at the bottom and you can customize that. And to do that you use the Sigma USB dock, which is this. You plug it into your computer at one end, then this just goes onto the mount, so in this case Nikon F mount on the end of the lens. And then you can do things like update the firmware, and you can change the settings for that custom button, so you can set one of the settings to, say, a faster autofocus or another setting to a smoother autofocus and things like that. I've not done that yet, but I'm going to do it at some point. I did update the firmware though, so that it will now work on my Z body. So today I was using it on my Nikon D7500 crop sensor body. I did that because you get the extra reach with the crop sensor body. You effectively times the focal length by 1.5 when you're on a crop sensor, a Nikon crop sensor at least. And that means that at the 600mm end you've effectively got a 900mm equivalent. But yeah, I want to try it on the Z7 body to see how it works on that. The autofocus is a little bit better on the Z7, and obviously it's much more megapixels, so even though I've not got quite as much reach with the focal range, I'll still be able to crop in because I've got much more megapixels. Just got a few more shots to show you, so I'll put those on screen now. So a really nice range of birds today. Got sparrows and loads of robins and blue tit, but also got the nuthatch as well, which is really cool, and then the heron. So yeah, really good. That's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? You can hit the big red button down there or on my face over here, and you'll stay up to date with everything I'm doing each week. I'm posting a new video every Sunday morning at 10 AM UK time. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll catch you for the next one. Bye.